Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's FalconPally coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a very special patron edition of StarCraft 2. It's going to be FalconPally playing dGJonnyLaw here on Year Zero, the Ladder Edition. Top right-hand corner is the Red Protoss player dGJonnyLaw. Going to call him Johnny Law, or maybe just Johnny from now on. And in the top left-hand corner, it is the Blue Zerg player FalconPally from the FalconPally clan. You too can join the FalPal clan. Just go ahead and join the Discord server. Link in the description, probably. I mean, if you haven't seen it and you're unaware of it and you haven't joined it yet, you're probably not going to. But if you don't know, you can get an invite to this Discord server. You can use this on a web browser, any web browser, anywhere. You can download it for Windows. You can put it on your phone. It's a pretty handy little thing. I hang out there pretty much all day, every day. You ever want to talk to Falcon, that's probably the best way to do it. And if you go in there, you can find somebody, a FalconPally clan officer, to help you join the clan. All right, so here's a ZVP that Falcon has played on the ladder fairly recently here, and it's where are we at here? The Diamond 3, Diamond 2 level or so is where Falcon is living right now. I believe Diamond 2. Ah, the block does come down here with that. Oh, with that probe, but just barely sneaking that in. My golly, that is like the closest. I forgot how close that was. I played this a couple weeks ago, and I'm just like, wow, amazing. So hatch gas pull here from Falcon. He is drone scouting. He doesn't see a forge. He doesn't see two gates. He doesn't see any proxies. He's going to go ahead and try to return the favor and block the expansion for Johnny now. And you know what? Johnny has enough resources at this point to actually toss down the Nexus, but he can't do it because there's this drone here. So turnabout is fair play from Falcon. And, ooh, blocks it there again. And there we go. Does get it down. I just have too few hit points to really struggle there. Really try to make it happen anymore. But I do recognize it's a one-gate expand into Cybercore, so I should be going for a third base fairly soon. So Zerg players have a choice here. They can go for a third base now, as they have about 300 resources, or they can wait until the pool's done, get a couple queens, start speed, and then go for the third base. It's really just a question of preference here, and I just like having the queens out. I like having the injects earlier. I understand the larva production is real nice with that third base soon, and based entirely on the fact that the Protoss player is going to have a ton of resources here too, off of two bases. It just makes me feel like maybe it would be better to do it. Oh, do I do it here? Yeah, you know what? I do. I do toss down a third base before the queen here in this situation. So I start a queen as soon as I can. Do I even start speed? Falcon, are you skipping speed? What are you doing, buddy? I like to cast these a couple weeks after I play them because then I don't remember what I did exactly and I'm surprised by things. So, two queens on the way, three drones on the way. Really not making any Zerglings, recognizing it's not time for that yet. This Adept could be cruising out across the map, but has chosen not to do so quite yet. And what is that follow-up here? It's a robotics facility opening here, not even a Stargate opening out of Johnny, interestingly enough. So there we go. Speed's on the way. A queen pops. Let's see how long it takes to inject. Not bad. Timing is not bad there. And the third base going to pop here a little bit after the construction of the second Nexus. Adept is cruising on in, and now there are lings, 4 lings and a queen. Queen at the top of the ramp to go ahead and try to dissuade the Protoss player from coming up here with the Adept. Adept checking to see if there's a third base here, and there's not. It's actually down here, which Summercrown gets after me sometimes on my expansion patterns, but I think this is totally fine, and a fourth up here probably. This is what we're looking at next, but yeah, man, that robotics facility is finishing up, and is it going to be like a Warp Prism? Archon thing? I honestly don't remember how this game opens. Adept does see the third base, and is going to try to take it down by herself. Good luck with that. I don't even respond to this at all. Making another queen here at the natural base. This queen could really throw down an inject anytime now. There it is. Whew. There it is. Creep queen is done at this point. Adept has done how much damage to this thing? I don't know, something like 50 total damage over that time there. Just not enough to really hurt it in any sensible way there. But I'm making 7 drones at a time. One thing that I'm really trying to focus on here is just droning as hard as I can when I feel safe to drone. And even if I don't feel really 100% safe to drone, I'm definitely going to still drone like a crazy person. So there's your Warp Prism. And there's a Stalker. We got a Sentry out here too. Warp is now done from Johnny Law. He has an Observer, I guess, in case Burrow Roaches show up. I feel like maybe he's had a problem with that in the past. But it's 31 to 37 workers. Despite the fact that I've worked so hard at getting drones up, I'm still behind the Protoss player right now. Part of it is that I'm tossing up Spore Crawlers that I don't need to toss up. And I do see the Warp Prism here, and I'm like, oh, okay, Warp Prism and Stalker. 14 drones, though. It's now time for 14 drones from Falcon. There we go. Now he's up. 43 to 40 workers. Nicely done. Throwing up a Spore Crawler on the edge of his main base. to dissuade warp prisms from flying in here. Creep spread is not actually all that fantastic right now. And yeah, man, dGJonnyLaw not really doing much. I mean, he did supply block me, which is really annoying. I should have had more overlords going anyway. I was making 17 drones. Toss down some overlords, man. You're sitting here at 400 minerals right now. You can afford to do that. And I do throw down some additional overlords. So I guess I'm a bit on the same wavelength as I am with my past self here. But Warp Prism cruising on out. We're about 5.5 minutes in, and it really hasn't been much harassment at all from dGJonnyLaw. No Oracle harass whatsoever. No Archon harass either. I am making a Roach Warren here. I'm floating about 500. I'm not sure what to do with these resources because I haven't really felt the need to make stuff. You know what I mean? Creep Tumor does get picked off at the edge of the creep there. That is a nice pickup from dGJonnyLaw. There's Immortals in production. There's Charge in production back home for Johnny. He's throwing up a third Nexus right now. And I'm trying to take down this Warp Prism with my Queen. Getting some nice damage. And here we go. Speedlings on top of Stalkers. And one Stalker goes down. You know what? Saves the Queen by running it away there. But the unload and the target fire does take it out. One Stalker. No, it gets picked up there. Nice control here from dGJonnyLaw. Not too bad. Creep spread still happening in the midst of all of this now. And I could just make so many roaches right now if I wanted to. I have the resources. Made a ton of Zerglings. I only have one larva, though. One total larva right now. I've been injecting fairly well. It's just a matter of I've been making a ton of Zerglings instead of roaches. So I'm like, all right, I made a ton of Zerglings, which get scouted, by the way, by this Warp Prism. I'm like, I'm going to try to shut down this third base. How's that sound to you, Mr. dGJonnyLaw? And the answer is dGJonnyLaw does not have much over here to stop me from doing this. He is warping in some Zealots. They don't have charge yet. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take down all of these gateways, or at least force cancels on them. But, is this a cancel? By golly, those aren't even cancels right now. We're going to go ahead and try to take down some of these Zealots. Nice force fielding, though, actually. My Lings are running up against those force fields like idiots. So I decided to go ahead and try to focus down the Nexus, get that bit of non-guaranteed damage here. Force fields keeping the Lings out. It's down to 400, down to 300. The force fields are brilliant. They are brilliantly saving this third base right now. It is a great play here from dGJonnyLaw, and all my Lings die. Oh, Sentries making it happen, guys. A lot of dead stuff for me, man. 1,200 resources lost to 600 right now. Did not expand behind it. Did not take a fourth base. I'm making 14 Overlords at a time because I'm recognizing I have all of the resources in the world right now. But yeah, the problem here is the Protoss player got his third base up at the 7-minute mark. I don't have a fourth base even on the way right now. I'm going for +1 missile attack. I'm going for glial reconstitution here. But how many roaches do I even have right now? Nothing. My army is 0 right now. I am up 57 and 55 workers, which is fantastic. I'm throwing up my 5th extractor here, saturating it immediately, which is really nice. And starting a ton of roaches, going for 13 roaches at a time versus these charge lots and these 2 immortals. Doesn't seem like a good composition, Falcon. We'll see how this works out for you here into the mid and into the later game. But yeah, dGJonnylaw's like, you know what? I'm feeling like I have a pretty big, scary Protoss army here. I've got 2 Immortals, an Archon, some Sentries, charge lots. Working on +2 attack right now, too. Man, his upgrades are so much better than mine. I'm only working on +1 missile, and he's got +2 just about done right now, which is a major, major advantage for him. All right, so more and more roaches pouring out right now. I'm trying to basically max out on roaches here at about the 9-minute mark. I mean, if you do it better, 8 minutes is what you're going to aim for here, but I'm not doing too terribly. I've got 61 workers. The larva production, I really should just throw down a macro hatch at this stage. I've got about 900 minerals. A macro hatch and a queen right here would be really, really good for my ability to do this. I really should be taking a fourth base too at about the 9-minute mark. Again, resources to do so. Something I need to watch out for. If I have the money to do it, I should probably end up doing it. That's how this works. So army supply is 90 to 73 in favor of me, but a lot of that is roaches, and a lot of his is immortals and archons, and archons are tier 3 units, immortals are tier 2 units, and roaches are like a 1.5 style thing here. So it's not looking good. Working on +2/+2, which is great. +2 again is already done here for dGJonnylAw, and he doesn't seem to be. Oh, he started his +3 attack. Good job. Good job by you, dGJonnylAw. Finally, Falcon takes a fourth base. He's like, you know what? I guess 10 minutes is probably a good time to take a fourth. He's just been behind. He's been behind in workers. He's down 67 to 59 right now in worker count. dGJonnylAw is getting a fourth base of his own at this stage. I've been left alone for like 2 or 3 minutes. I should have expanded. Should have felt safe, but I didn't. So big Roach Ravager army here. Not a great place to engage for me, I don't think, but Corrosive Bile is getting some decent hits off, engaging on those Immortals. Good force fields actually messing up a little bit of my ability to retreat with some of these units here. Ravagers getting stuck. Corrosive Vials getting some decent hits here too. dGJonnyLaw not dodging them all that well, but Lings are cruising on in right now. Wrapping around from the backside, trading on top of these Immortals, messing up their attacks. So they're dealing with the Lings instead of the Roaches and Ravagers. And these Immortals are in a lot of trouble right now. They are in full retreat. Army supply is 54-25 in favor of Falcon. Pushing these Immortals back and trying to get that surround on, but it's not really working out. The Lings are getting wrecked by the Archons. And you know what? Are we going to go ahead and get rid of these Immortals or not? Oh, nice pickup. Nice pickup on that Immortal. 15 kills. Corrosive Vials do take down the Warp Prism, though. Zerglings coming in to assist at the same time, but the Zealots having a great time versus these Zerglings with their +2 attack. And everything I have ends up dead there, but there's not much left for dGJonnyLaw either. 31-33 army supply. I'm sitting at 1,600-800 right now. I'm making 22 Zerglings. I want to try to finish this army off, and I know 22 Lings should be able to do it, especially if they have +2 armor, which they don't yet, but they're working on it. Panic Lings time is what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. It is Panic Lings time for FalconPally. That's a lot of charge lots, though. I know your Lings think you're awesome, but boo, that's a lot of Zealots, yo. Look at my Lings just get hacked to pieces. An Immortal does go down, but by golly, these Zealots doing work against my Zerglings. Brutal stuff here. Overseer's trying to fly around, see what's up, but they can't really see anything at all. 58-68 workers now. I am sitting at 11.5 minutes. Injects are looking okay on 2 out of my 3 bases. Finally making an infestation pit here to go for 3-3. Making 22 roaches at a time. Once again, it's a matter of larva that is hurting me here. I do have this, okay, I do have this hotkeyed, so I'm using all the available larvae at the 4th base too, but a macro hutch would help so immensely here. I also probably should take this gas mine as well. At the stage of the game, dGJonnyLaw coming with pretty much more of the same thing. Immortals, charge lots, and the Stalkers. I really need some Banelings. If my opponent has this many charge lots, Banelings are going to be a much, much better factor here. Creep spread is okay. It's not amazing. I haven't really been paying attention to it during the battles, which really shows. I'm going for a hive and getting more and more drones right now. Army supply is 109-63 in favor of Falcon right now. By golly. I mean, dGJonnyLaw is having a hard time spending his money too. Sitting at about, well, he just spent a whole bunch of it on what exactly? Warping some things maybe? Ah, my drones! Transferring down to the 4th base. 4th base in a heck of a lot of trouble right now. Reinforcing charge lots. Actually walking past some Roaches and Ravagers. The rest of my army is here too now. And I'm going to go ahead and try to throw down some Corrosive Vials, get some extra splash damage on top of those Immortals, and I do some pretty good damage there. Yeah, man, 2-2 Roach Ravager, not bad. The Zealots are all pretty much gone right now. There's only 1 Immortal in the group. The Archons are going to do as much as they want to, and I do end up just barely saving my 4th base right now. We got Lings versus a reinforcing group of Stalkers here. They are just getting absolutely chased out of town and destroyed. Army supply 67-23 for Falcon. A lot of these units are injured. I'm making 15 drones at a time right now, trying to get up on that worker count. I'm down 71-51. Johnny's just been doing a fantastic job saturating this 4th base while also marching out across the map. But I'm just working on 3-3 for Roaches and Ravagers. I'm throwing up a Spire now. It seems like a pretty good thing to do. I'm checking for a 4th here, but there's not one here. The map awareness is not present. I don't know the 4th base exists up there right now, and I really should. I really should know. Army supply 69-43. Lings come cruising into this 3rd base. A lot of Roaches and Ravagers are here. They are 2-2. Shield Battery running out of resources here with which to heal. A bunch of charge lots come in. But I don't know about this. Corrosive Vials again getting some serious hits, taking out an Archon. Immortal sitting at the back trying to do serious work right now. And he is getting some good damage off. He's got 4 kills. Nice job pulling him back, recognizing the big threat that he is. And I'm like, I don't have enough army to really do anything right now. 23 Roaches in production. And still, just having a hard time maxing out. Having a hard time getting to the point where I have a fully maxed out army that I feel strong enough to actually take down a base. Meanwhile, big warping of Zealots down here in the bottom left to finish off my 4th base, which has 0% health. 200 total health out of a maximum of what, Falcon? 1,500. No, the numbers are not good here. Roaches coming up to join their buddies. Nobody staying home to defend this base whatsoever. These charge lots have +3 attack and +1 armor. Working on +2 armor. Storms coming in now, too, from dGJonnyLaw. Actually working on Stargates right now. And yeah, the 4th base goes down. I don't have a 5th base. At the 14-minute mark, my expansion timings are abysmal in this game. And, yeah, I mean, these Zealots are on a lot of trouble because these Roaches want to murder them. I'm making 7 Mutalisks, which is pretty good against this 2 Stalker composition. It's a lot of Zealots and a lot of Immortals right now. War Prism is still alive. Marching up across is dGJonnyLaw's army. I'm up 106 to 77 army supply. A lot of it is Zerglings. Again, they're +2 Lings, which makes them pretty good against the Zealots. Not incredible. And in fact, they all mostly get wiped out, but not as fast as they otherwise would if they didn't have any upgrades at all. And the Mutas show up here too. So the Muta's helping with that fairly immensely. War Prism shows up and tries to get something done, but no. Denied. These Zealots are watching these drones wander by, and they're just having mercy on them, it seems like. So dGJonnyLaw is throwing up a 5th base in the bottom right-hand corner. His timings, while not professional level or crisp or anything, are much better than mine are. I'm a 3-basing Zerg right now. I have a huge army supply lead, but it's Roach, Ravager, Muta, which isn't like Broodlords or Ultras or anything. I'm working on Adrenal Glands. I'm going 3-3 for the Roaches and Ravagers at 15 minutes, which again is totally late. And again, expand it twice, Falcon. Good. Expand there and expand there. All right. So he has the resources for it. The 5th base, which again I think is dGJonnyLaw's 4th base, because I still don't know about this thing. It's in a lot of trouble here. A lot of Stalkers coming on in to try to deal with this, and they do blink on top of my Mutalisks and try to get something done right now. The High Templar joined the party. Guess what? They have Storm, everybody. They have the Psionic Storm. I'm trying to march on top of these units, and again, the upgrades are good. That 3 armor really helping here. Archon's trying to join the party, actually forcing the Stalkers back. And I eat a whole ton of Storms, but maybe I could take down this, what I think is the 4th Nexus, but is really the 5th Nexus. The Stalkers are doing a good job delaying me. Right, recognizing we need to bring somebody else over to deal with this, but at the same time, I can't let the Nexus just get hammered. This Immortal right here, just doing work, sitting behind the Stalkers as he needs to do. Charge Blots on top of my Roaches, and again, I just run out of army. I'm making 12 Mutas at a time right now. With all the resources that I have, the base ends up getting saved here. I am going to go ahead and replant these 2 bases. Eventually they'll come in. Greater Spire is done. Adrenal Glands is almost done. +1 melee is almost done. Creep spread is a little bit sporadic. There are some points where it is not connected to the rest of the creep, which is always weird. I hate creep spreading up ramps because you have to get it on the right spot to actually see up the ramp. You can't go from here to here. You have to go from here to here, then to here, just based on how things go. So the Mutas are flying out. The tech switch is here, flying past Amon and all of his stuff. And I'm recognizing, okay, do you think there's any static defense? Do I know this is here? I still haven't scouted this location. Falcon, map awareness, friends. And the surprise Mutalisks inside the main. dGJonnyLaw really should have had some cannons coming up. Right? At some point when he recognized, he saw that I had any number of Mutalisks at all. The potential was there for a big Mutalisk attack. A lot of probes go down. It is 62 to 55 workers. I have the lead there on them. I don't know. Can I... not with the Storm. I was going to say, can I take down those Stalkers? Probably not. How does this base look? Pretty juicy, actually. There's only 1 cannon here. Meanwhile, Zealot's charging into my 4th base again. Ready to wreck everything that exists down there. I have to fly the Mutas all the way home. I don't have a ground army to deal with them. I have 10 Mutalisks. That's my army right now. I'm trying to go for some Corruptors. I'm trying to go for some Broodlords, but it's just not happening. dGJonnyLaw is actually going Tempest. He starts making some Phoenix here. And once again, the 4th base is kaput. And I'm now down 58 to 34 workers. I had so many workers down here, and they're all dead now. And number of drones killed in this game is 35 so far, with 24 probes going down. I do try to get revenge on these Zealots, but recall is pretty good, and everybody makes it back home for the most part. So I mean, we're looking at a 5-basing Protoss versus kind of a 4-basing Zerg right now. I don't care what you're doing. It's going to be hard to compete with that. Tempest are here, but not that great, actually. It turns out against Corruptors and Mutas. Stalkers, a different story. +3 Stalkers are real scary. And they're here in the party, too. Do they have the 3 armor yet? They do not have the 3 armor yet. Creep tumors are getting wrecked here. Creep spread, again, not as good as it could be, but I'm still working on it. I'm still doggedly trying to make it happen. I am mineral starved, you guys. I really need to start throwing some workers over. Is this really? Man, I do not have hardly any workers at all. Where the heck are they? 41 of them. Okay, so 5 of them are here. I guess a bunch of them are idle. Man, get your idle workers back to work, Falcon. Come on, man. What are you doing to yourself here? 5 more Mutas on the way. I'm like, you know what? I don't think the Stalker count is all that high. Maybe my Mutalisks can make this happen. Maybe I can base trade. Maybe I can see these Zealots before they make it across the map and wipe them out. How are the upgrades on my Mutas? Nothing. No upgrades on these guys at all. Just going for 0-0 Mutalisks. You know me. That's how this works. Trying to caustic spray down some of these cannons. Trying to take down this base. Again, I think... Do I still not know about this base? I still don't know about that base. I think this is dGJonnyLaw's 4th. I think I'm in a great position. I really honestly feel like I'm in a wondrous position here. Phoenix are going to chase right now. I'm going to pick off a bunch of my Mutalisks. They are so brutal. I just made a round of drones, which is okay, but I lose my 4th base again to these Zealots. Is it a again thing, or are they just marching up into my 3rd to cause problems? Warp Prism getting picked off inside the main base. Corruptors are trying to take down these Phoenix, but they're getting stormed like crazy. And the Stalkers are just so good versus the Corruptors, and everything is dead. It's 103 to 34 army supply. I do take down the 4th base, but again, I don't even know about this one that's been doing so much good work for dGJonnyLaw. Zealots trying to take down the 3rd base by themselves, which is hard when there are Mutalisks, but I'm just making 4 Corruptors. I'm asking what this player's rank is, because I feel like he's better than he should be, but it's my fault. I didn't even know about this. I did not know about that base. My drones are running to their deaths right now. I think he's too good for D3, but again, it's just me not scouting. Get promoted, I say. I mean, it's 21 minutes. My army supply is at 36. GG! D2 with D3 MMR, says dGJonnyLaw. And a little bit of salt from Falcon. I just felt like this guy was too good to be D3. He was, his storms were great. My storm dodging was abysmal. His force fields were okay. Again, he saved this base purely with force field. And it's this. I think this is the key to the whole match. I never, ever once knew this existed. Not for a single second did I know that was a thing. And that's why he was able to keep it going. Incredible. Incredible match. So Falcon goes down. Happens to everybody. You don't have to be mad. Sometimes I am. But I think everybody is as well. Hoorah. All right. Well, resources lost. Actually, not too bad of a game, actually. I mean, we're looking at 32,000 even resources lost for Falcon, by the way. 32,000 on the nose and 31,187 for dGJonnyLaw. So, I mean, really not that big of a difference. Ended up losing 9 Archons, 16 Archons, 9 Immortals, 33 Probes, a Nexus. Really should have been 2 more, but he defended them so very, very well. I ended up losing 35 Mutas, 78 Roaches, 27 Ravagers, 2 Hatcheries, 191 Lings, 62 Drones. Yeah, I mean, lessons learned here, Falcon. Throw up some static defense at your bases at the 15-minute mark, man. Max out. Use some drones on static defense, replace them. And then the Zealot counterattacks aren't nearly as damaging as they otherwise could be. I had the right idea. I really did. I was going for Broodlords. I had Corruptors. I had the Mutalisks. I had some Lings here to deal with this. It's Banelings. If your opponent is going for this many charge lots, you really got to start making Banelings to counter them. And then the rest of the army is much easier to take care of. Also, Hydras would have been pretty good. Yeah, I mean, honestly, for this whole match, a Hydra-Ling Baneling composition would have been pretty amazing. The storms might not have been, they could have been a problem, right? Especially considering how poorly I was dodging those, which again, something I need to work out. But yeah, good times on ladder, and that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void, a very special patron edition. Thank you for joining me here for at least $1 a month. Please, in the comments, let me know what else I can do to help you patrons feel appreciated, because I love each and every one of you. I'm going to try to do a weekly StarCraft bonus cast and a weekly Brood War bonus cast for you guys. On top of all the ones I'm doing for my channel. It's a lot of work, but doing my best. And I hope you all feel the love from me too. So until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out with me, and you take care of yourself.
us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. From order we find justice. Our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. I sense a soul. Soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. The path of ascension is before us. Guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul. Soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. Search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. I sense a soul. Soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala adu. Kala rule us. Naslaranus, Naslaran, Kinalatu. Casar di Templare, Daramanagam. shards are seen.